just wow, like what a game, and who would have expected this performance in this kind of game from the bottom 3 and 4 teams in the Premier League. But I mean, just like even now I watch the game and I'm still trying to process everything. I mean, really crazy. The lights went off in the second half after Norwich's first goal. For about 15 to 20 minutes, the lights just kept going off and on and off. And so it was a long game. They had 15 minutes extra. But man, for Norwich to pull off a 3-0 win after the first half 0-0, and if you watch the game, listen to the halftime analysis from Tim Howard, Watford had over 70% of the possession in the first half. They looked like the better team, other than Norwich, who had 1 or 2 good shot attempts, which Josh Sargent was a part of in the first half. Other than that, Watford dominated in the first half, looked like the better team. Well, Tim Howard and whoever his other commentator was, this is why they play 90 minutes. And why do you think Watford couldn't score in the first half? Norwich sits in, gets all their guys in the box. They're okay with the ball going wide. They're funneling things wide. They just don't want things to get into the box. Every time Watford got in and around the box, shot was deflected, or the cross didn't even make it to the man that they were trying to. So I'm really happy to see Norwich pull off a win here. I don't think they're a relegation team. I don't think Watford's a relegation team either, as they do possess well, even being down 2-3-0. And with 10 men, they got a red card in the second half. Pedro on Watford, I think, is a great player. They're still, they scored. It was offside. If he left it instead of him shooting, whoever, I can't remember his name, who was offside for that goal, if he left it for the next man to take the shot, would have been a counted goal. But they had a few chances even with 10 men and being down 2-3-0, so props to them. They played well. I don't think their tactics were wrong. I just think their personnel didn't know how to score when 10 men are in the box. And I think that Norwich's tactics were 10 times better. I mean, it's not pretty to watch Norwich, especially in that first half when they're just sitting in, waiting for Watford to make a mistake. But as a Norwich fan, you've got to be happy, especially with the management, and especially with Josh Sargent. First goal, ridiculous goal. Who knows what if he meant to do it, who cares? It went in. Great scorpion kick. I'm just really happy right now because he's American, and had 2 goals. Could have had a hattie. Should have had an assist in the first half too. I think it was the first 10-15 minutes. But yeah, Norwich sitting in and playing it out until the second half, and then waiting for Watford, first goal, waiting for Watford to make a mistake, gets literally onto the end line. Pookie picks up the ball off of another mistake from Watford, and then Josh Sargent with a beautiful finish. And just after that first goal, Watford just downhill from there. And like I said, they had some moments where they looked like they could have been back into the game, but then the red card, and with a red card, you're not coming back from 2-0. I mean, never say never, but yeah, so I was just really happy that Norwich got the win. I don't think they're a relegation team. I don't think Watford is either, like I had mentioned. Just looking at my notes here. Josh Sargent, I don't know if he got man of the match. 100%, I bet you he did, with the 2 goals. Most energetic player for Norwich today. Fighting for every ball, going forward, taking players on, scoring 2 goals. And just, again, I'm very biased because I'm American, but just really happy to see Norwich win and beat Watford. But yeah, and then the delay was crazy. So for people who did not watch it, the lights went off. About half the lights were on. It was still bright enough to play, but the lights did go off and cause a delay of game. And for a moment there, I think me and commentators we're thinking that the game was going to get postponed, or going to have to be rematched. But yeah, so just what a crazy game. First half with Watford was 70% possession, all the chances. Second half, Norwich scoring, then the lights going out, then red card, scoring 2 more. So one thing I will say, and this was before Norwich even scored their first goal, is Kiembe. He's a midfielder for Watford. I think Again, Norwich was sitting in. Ball would get to, they'd go wide, then they'd feed it negative ball into Kiembe. I don't know if I'm saying his name correctly. And I believe he's their holding midfielder, but Norwich just not biting to that. I think what Watford was wanting was a second it got to their 6, and he was probably 40 yards out from the goal, so he's outside the box. But I think he's waiting for a defender to bite and come to him for them to play through the middle and get to a goal scoring opportunity. But Norwich sat back, let him play, and this is where I think their tactics was better than Watford's. They let them play in and around the box, 35, 40 yards out. They know that's not dangerous. Kiembe's, not a player who's going to serve a great ball in or, find that ball in behind. And they didn't really counter very much. Watford, Norwich did, and they did great. But I did want to give a shout out to Kiembe and Pedro on Watford. Pedro, especially at the end of the game, still showing that he's lively. Sissoko did okay. Sissoko, I believe he's the one who scored that was offside. And it was a great finish. I mean, he did like a 180 volley. He was facing away from the goal, turned his body to score it, but it was offside. First half, like I said, very slow. And it was kind of a boring game. And then if you just watch the second half, if you have the opportunity to go back, I would recommend it just because of all the action that happened, and Norwich just showing their persistence and staying true to their tactics, and Josh Sargent's just amazing ability to score. And then after that first goal, like I said, just Watford downhill from there. So I don't think either team should finish in the bottom 3, but it looks like Watford might, especially if they go a different way with who their manager is. But yeah, very exciting game. So thank you again so much for watching the Finley Show. Please like and subscribe and comment. Let me know what you think I should analyze from here on out. Thank you. Have a good one.